Hello fellow readers, and welcome to the weekend discussion. What that means is, 1, it's the weekend, and 2, it's going to be a discussion, or more so me talking, and hopefully you going down below and making a comment. The topic for today, for this weekend, is to read or not to read. What I mean by that is when you're reading a novel or a book or a novella or whatever, and you've gotten a few pages into it, like 20 pages or so, and you're not really feeling it, and you don't really like the writing style or the characters or the story or whatever, do you finish it, or do you just throw it across the room and move on? And this is a question that I have thought about a lot, especially this year, because I've read more this year than I have in a really long time. I haven't always enjoyed everything that I've read. And, there's stuff that, I'm reading and I'm not really into it, but I finish it, I power through, and I get to the end, and I'm so relieved to finally finish the book, because it just wasn't something that I enjoyed. It just felt like a chore, and I wanted to know what you guys thought. I wanted to know, do you tend to just put it down and say, life is just too short to read something that is just not good, or do you power through it? And what are your reasons for powering through it if you do? And for me, the main reason why I power through something is, 1, I just have in my mind that maybe, just maybe, that the author will turn it around and the ending will be amazing. For an example, when I was reading the Harry Potter books for the first time, when I got to the 4th book, the beginning of it, the first 150 pages until the moment Harry's name comes out of the Goblet of Fire, it just was really slow, and it was really hard to get into, especially that first chapter, because I had no idea what was going on. But I powered through it, 1, mainly because it was Harry Potter, and you just knew that it was going to be good. But I powered through it, and the ending was amazing. The rest of the book was just fantastic. And so I cling to the hope that, most books that I'm reading, they're just going to be amazing when I just power through this first part. Because sometimes books do tend to take a while to get into. But some, they just don't get better, and a lot of times they get worse. And so I'm stuck reading this book that I'm already, 180 pages into it or whatever. And it's like, man, I only have 100 pages left, so I might as well just keep going. I don't like wasting my time, so it's like, what do I do? So this week, I was reading one of the books that was on my TBR, and I get about 10 pages into it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this book, oh my gosh. Can this book just end? But I just kept powering through it, just okay, let's just get it over with. Just move on. But there's so many times this week that I was like, man, can I just be done with this book? But something just inside of me just kept saying, no, just keep going. You can do it, you can do it. And I finished it, and it didn't end well. It actually I was so relieved when it finished. And, the thing for me was, the reason why I just kept powering through this book, this one in particular, was that it's in a genre that I want to write in. And so it was kind of like work for me in that I'm going to read it and see how I would do things better. I learn more from reading stuff that is just not the best than something that is fantastic. Because when I'm reading something that's fantastic, I feel I am never going to be able to write something that is that amazing. But when I'm reading something that is subpar, I can see where I could do things better, and I can see where I can make the story better. And so it helps me learn the ins and outs of writing. And yeah, so that is my take. I don't know if I've even answered the question to finish or not to finish. Yeah, so I guess for me, mostly I'm going to finish, because I don't like to leave things undone, and I want to give the author the benefit of the doubt and see if things are going to turn around, if there's something that is going to redeem the story. So thanks for coming in and having a discussion with me. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. And come back next week for another week in discussion where I will discuss something. You'll have to come back next week to find out what I'm going to discuss. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.